All right, what is up, everybody? Happy Wednesday, or as I like to call it, Hump Day. Yes, that is a throwback to the Camel commercial, probably the best commercial of all time. But all right, guys, we are going to hop straight into it. Jason is still out at the dentist. He's going on day 8 at the dentist office. So wishing him some luck on his dentures / grills there. We've got a jam-packed show today. So, at 12:15, we started late. All right, in 5 minutes from now, we're going to be doing crypto. We're having a crypto bull go head-to-head with a crypto bear. We're then going to be bringing on our next viewer from ZingerNation. Yesterday, we brought somebody out of the chat onto the show to do a stock pitch. We're doing the same thing today. Let's go. Tony from Toledo is coming on. All right, there's some air horns for Tony from Toledo. 12:30, we are talking options. We're bringing on Options Mike. He is one of the best options people out there. He's Jason Raznick's best for options and a Raz suggestion. So we're going to be talking options trading with Options Mike. And then 12:50, towards the end of the day, we're going to be bringing Airplane Jane on. I also want to make a trade on Baba live on the show today, so we're just going to have to try to fit that in. It is a jam-packed show, but we're going to try to make it happen. Where did you find a crypto bear? It's Neil. I don't know if you guys know Neil. Benzinga Neil is the crypto bear. Let's give him a round of applause, right? It's not easy to be a crypto bear when the thing's up, 300% in a year. So that's how we're going to get into it. But all right, first things first, guys. And again, as always, go ahead, throw some tickers into the chat if you have any tickers that you want us to try to work in today, even though we're jam-packed. And I really want to get to my Baba trade because I've got an opinion on Baba. But let's go ahead, producer Aaron, let's pull up the live portfolio. Again, this is the live portfolios are actually the stocks, all the positions that I am holding. We're not just doing this with play money. We're actually trading with you guys live on the show and talking you through our thinking. First thing to call out, let's go Voyager Digital. Everybody in the chat who got into the Voyager Digital, give me the one for that one. We had the CEO of this stock on the show about 2 months ago. 66 cents a share. The thing is now up 704%. That's right. $5.26, 700% on Voyager. I mean, this might be my best trade of all time. I'm not sure. If it's not, it's pretty damn close. And let me hop into some of the options updates. So we made a handful of options trades yesterday. We made the bear case for Nikola. I went way out and bought some Nikola puts. I bought $7.50 Nikola puts expiring in January of 2022. There we go. At least 3 people in the chat got into that Voyager trade. 700%. That was the one to retire on. Let's go. But we bought the Nikola $7.50 strike puts a year out from now. Those have not traded yet. We got into that at $2.46. We then closed our Tesla position. Another round of applause here. We sold 500 strike puts expiring December 31st on Tesla. We collected all of the premium of that, so we got about $1,700 of premium, which we then flipped into a forward long position. So there was the trade there on Tesla. And then the last thing that we did yesterday is we sold Palantir puts at $20 a share for 70 cents. So basically we went long Palantir, but not by buying the stock, because I think that the price of the stock is a little bit high. But we sold puts on it because I'm okay owning the stock at $19 a share. I don't want to buy it outright now at $26 a share. We're up a solid 22% since we put that trade on about 24 hours ago. So again, we're either walking away with all that premium that we collected, about $1,000, or we are buying the shares at $19 per share. And let me throw this one out to the chat because this is a fan favorite. Guys, give me the opinion on Palantir now, right? You can't abstain. There's no Green Party voting. There's no libertarians. You're either voting long or short Palantir. Give me the one in the chat if you guys like Palantir. Give me the 2 if you do not like the stock. And then third, and perhaps most importantly, go ahead and put a like on the stream. Again, this is the Trade Idea Hour. That's why we're spending this time together every single day. Let's go. Let's get some trade ideas going. the more likes that we have on the stream, the more viewers that we get, the more we can throw these votes out there, the more people we're going to bring onto the show to pitch stocks. Again, we're pulling somebody out of the chat here. Tony from Toledo is coming on to pitch a stock today. Oh yeah, look at all those ones. Everybody likes the Palantir. Okay. So again, we want to blow this community up and really make this a wealth of trade ideas. The last trade update that I will give you guys before we get into our crypto bull bear battle is NEO. I'm getting smacked on NEO again. This is the third freaking time. Let me see if I can't pull a chart up real quick. NEO. We own the January $35 puts on NEO. We thought that the momentum had run out, but the stock is charging back higher. We bought the puts when it looked like the stock had gotten tired. We were seeing a downturn in it. You know, the idea was, okay, if the stock's now fallen from $48 to $44, all that we need to do is let's see the stock hit $38 or so, but anywhere below 40, we're making some decent money on the trade. We wanted to get out on it, and the momentum has returned to NEO. I will probably be closing this trade later today. If NEO is trading higher and trading near a high of the day at 3:30 today, I'm going to go ahead and close the NEO trade, turn around with my tail between my legs, and leave this thing with right now a 41% loss on that trade. The stock is selling off and it looks like it's going to close near a low of the day. We're going to let it ride and see how tomorrow looks. So those are the trades. I know everybody's talking about NEO Day on January 9th. It's a lot of time, okay? We got like another 2 weeks to work with, all right? So there's the deal. All right, guys. Without further ado, let's hit it for this crypto bull bear battle. This is the first battle that we're having on the show. And even better, it's between two of our favorite Benzinga people. We've got Neil Hamilton going up against John G. They both look like burglars. Can we bring them onto the stream, please, Producer Aaron? Yeah, look at these burglar hats. If you guys think that they look like burglars, throw a 1 in the chat. If they don't look like they could burglar something, throw in the 2. But all right, I don't know.
I'm not happy with you, Luke.
All right,
and you know why.
Wrong, Neil?
You know
wrong?
why. Because you're dragging my name through the dirt right now. I'm here with John G. We both look like crypto millionaires. Crypto millionaires wear hats like this. All right?
Exactly.
And you're trying to make me out to be the Peter Schiff of Benzinga. Am I wrong? Is that what you're doing, Luke?
No,
I think
look at him giggling. Look at him giggling.
I think that's fair, Neil. That's a good analogy.
Right. So let me paint a picture here, John, and tell me if I'm wrong. All right? We're both bullish on Bitcoin.
Yeah, I think we're there. I think we both agree there.
Okay, so John and I are friends, and you tried to get in between us, Luke. That's the first thing. We've got that out of the way. The second
crypto
thing,
brings people together. You can't tear us apart, Luke.
Exactly, crypto bros. Look at the hats. All right. So the next thing that I want to illustrate is there is probably a difference between John and I, which is John is in crypto investor. Right?
Neil, I will say I'm not even an investor, but we can have that conversation another time.
Okay. Oh, actually, I want to hear a bit about it today. I think we have time for it. Luke can let us know. But I'm a crypto trader, so I'm very bullish on
crypto trading expert.
They call me the crypto prophet. I'm getting T-shirts made and custom beanies. I would love to share my charts with people. If anyone's interested in looking at some technical analysis on Bitcoin for how I've timed my entries and exits and been very successful getting in and out of Bitcoin for this whole ride over the past couple months. So John G, I know you're hodling, right?
Yes. Well, Neil, I would be glad to look at those charts as well. I'd be very interested. I do have a portion of my crypto available for trading, but it's something I like to avoid. I mean, just hodl it. That's what you need to do. Here's the thing with crypto. If you sell your crypto, someone else is buying your Satoshis. They'll buy them right up here at the 28,000, just over 28,000 right now. And honestly, like, I know people are calling different price points. My thesis is 300K, end of this bull run. I don't know when this bull run ends. I'm thinking maybe 2022. We'll see. I have a decent case for the 300K, considering it's, at this point, I think, accepted as the digital store of value.
Wait. Bring me back on.
Okay.
Okay.
What do you got
All
to
right,
say?
in good faith, I don't think that you can say that this bull run will put crypto to 300K.
How do you say that? Why do you
Dude,
say
the
that?
thing's already tripled in price. It's at 28,000. So it needs to go up
Okay.
8x.
If you look back at the 2017 bull run, you will see many dips, and this is where Neil's trying to play these dips. They happen frequently, anywhere from 25 to 35%. People get scared out of their positions. They sell the dip. Buy the fucking dip. Seriously, buy the fucking dip. I think it could easily dip. I don't know what it's going to dip to. My biggest fear of selling my Bitcoin is not being able to catch the dip. So it dips. I got cash to play. I'm buying more. I buy more right now. Dollar cost averaging. Just buy Bitcoin. This thing's going to 300K. It's a store of value. I mean, time frame, I don't know. I think 2022. Maybe it's 2024. It's going to be the best. It was the best buy of the last decade. It's going to be the best buy of this decade. You can make a case for Ethereum maybe competing in it, but I think that's an even longer term play. But
all right, Neil.
Don't sell your Satoshis. Don't sell your Satoshis. Go ahead.
Neil, so what's your shorter term play on it then?
So my shorter term play on it is price target around $35,700. All right.
Okay.
Why? I can illustrate that for you. If you let me share my screen, is that a possibility?
Wait, producer Aaron is shaking his head.
Shaking his head in a no fashion.
Talk us through the chart, okay? We'll visualize it for us. You're a good storyteller.
Okay,
Neil.
so yeah. So if we look at Bitcoin going back to that initial crazy spike up that we had back in, what was that, the end of 2017, John?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So like, okay,
Yeah.
I got a 5-year chart
Yeah.
in my mind. Okay, I see it.
All-time high.
5-year chart.
Yep. Okay, and then take that all the way to where we are today. What we've done is just broke out of what you call a double bottom breakout pattern. And what I did was recognize that was happening and waited to get in at around 19,732, which is about, I mean, that's pretty close. I mean, it's give or take dollars, but with Bitcoin, it's you can do that. That's where I waited to get in. Once we confirmed that, I piled in like crazy, because with a double bottom or with any rounding bottom pattern, the base of that bowl shape, of that saucer shape, up to the previous apex is actually what you're adding to that apex. So it's the base plus the apex creates your price target. So in this case, where we're heading to right now is about 35.7K.
So your
what I'm gonna do,
price target, your technical short-term price target is 35,700. We hit that. What do you do?
it depends on what happens. So immediately I will sell off about 20% and take profit. I will expect many others in the space to do exactly the same thing, because there are a bunch of wise guys looking at the chart doing the same exact thing. They're saying this is an opportunity to take profit. It's going to probably consolidate at that point, do a little zigzagging before it starts to go back up again. So at that point, I will look for another dip based on previous support. I don't think we'll go all the way back down to the 19.7 handle. I think that we'll have some form of sideways consolidation, and I'll just play that dip and get back in, averaging back in.
All right. So my Bitcoin bear sees Bitcoin going to 35,000, and my Bitcoin bull sees it going to 300,000. So the chat was right. I was getting roasted in the chat when I introduced you guys, saying I got a Bitcoin bear. They said it's not possible. You don't have a Bitcoin bear, and my Bitcoin bear sees 20% upside. Okay. All right, guys. We got to get hopping. Thank you for doing the crypto segment. I appreciate it. Round of applause, guys. Woo! All right, there we go. Smash the like. Next up, we're going to ZingerNation. That's right. Yesterday, we had our first person from ZingerNation on the show to pitch a stock. We're trying to do this every day. We want to bring, ideally, in my ideal world, we're going to bring 5 of you out of the chat every single day onto the show to do 3-minute stock pitches. Boom, 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 boom. I mean, this is all about trading. Yes, that's what the point of the show is. So producer Aaron, can we please bring on Tony from Toledo out of the chat? We're going to put 3 to 5 minutes on the clock. Tony, we want to hear the pitch. Yesterday, the stock that was pitched, it was pitched by Rodrigo out of the chat. He pitched COUV. So let's get this going. All right, Tony, I see you. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Very good. Well, I think I've got a revolutionary stock. It's the first company that's ever filed and has a patent pending on a flavor. Okay, no one else, as far as I know, and as far as they know, has ever received a patent for a flavor. The guy that founded the company was in the vape space, and he played around with flavors, and he ended up coming up with a product to help people quit smoking. Okay, he's come up with a cigarette that has no tobacco and no nicotine. Okay, and he hired as a CEO the head strategist at Philip Morris, which we all know is like the largest tobacco company. So they decided to market this. They would start in the state of Ohio. They sent the first shipment, which was prepaid for $150,000, to a distributor in Ohio 2 weeks ago. So the product is just hitting the streets. I don't smoke, but people that do smoke that I've talked to are very receptive to it. How does it sound to you, Luke?
So let me make sure I understand it. So it's not like an e-cigarette. It's an actual cigarette, but it doesn't have nicotine. It doesn't have tobacco. It's something physically that people are smoking and is some sort of flavored. Is that right?
Yes. It's the flavor and the look looks exactly like a traditional cigarette. Tastes exactly the same. That's the flavor.
Got it. Okay. That's
and it looks identical, but it's to really get people off of nicotine. There's no benefit to nicotine at all. There's no benefit. The product itself, they've come out and they trademarked a saying called Beyond Tobacco.
Okay.
And I have some packs. I went and bought some. My son goes to Ohio State, and I had to go pick them up for vacation. So if you don't mind, I could show you some of these packs.
Yeah, if you have them ready, let's see them. And can we get the ticker? We need the ticker.
3 flavors. There's the original. I don't know if you get.
Yep. There you go.
TAT, T-A-T-T. The United States stock symbol is TOBAF.
Okay.
The name of the company is TAT, T-A-A-T. You can go online and see. They ended up hiring 3 people from Philip Morris, and those are positions, high-paying positions at Philip Morris. They believe in the concept. This is a menthol flavor pack.
Yep. And producer Aaron, can you throw that ticker in the chat, please? All right. Keep going, Tony from Toledo.
And this is the third type called Smooth. And they'll be in stores in Ohio and then throughout the United States and the world. I guess India, from what Seti Kaskarel is the CEO, and there's videos online on YouTube. You can go to TAT's website. They have a store locator if anybody wants to try to find these cigarettes. The base material is made out of hemp. Okay, now there are some hemp cigarettes, but all of the hemp cigarettes that are out there that are manufactured smell like hemp or cannabis. Okay, TAT cigarettes smell exactly like tobacco, and they patented so nobody could go out and do a copy. Right now, the share price is a little under $2 a share. We believe that this will go basically from pre-revenue to a multi-billion-dollar company, or they may get bought out by Philip Morris. I mean, they've taken 3 of their employees.
There's been a lot of deals in that space. A lot of these cigarette challengers have gotten taken out in recent years.
I can tell you that when Philip Morris was one big company and they had to be broken up, they got broken up and the other company became Altria. Altria made a deal with Juul and paid Juul several $1 billion. And that was after only being in business, I think, for 2 years.
Yeah.
So I think the potential here is really, I think it's revolutionary. I don't even smoke cigarettes, but I think the people that do, you know, they've tried the gum, the patch, and all this other stuff, but it's a hand-mouth thing as far as I understand. I'm not a doctor, but it's a very addictive thing.
All right. So there we have it. I'm adding this one to the watch list. Ticker again, TOBAF. TOBAF, $130 million market cap stock now. The thing that I really like about your pitch, Tony, is that it's not like we're waiting a long time for sales, right? If the product is hitting stores now, we're going to figure out pretty quickly whether or not this thing can make sales. It's not like we got to sit on it for 2 years.
I can tell you that,
and figure that out.
There was a press release yesterday, and that the Ohio distributor, the first go-around, he purchased 1 pallet, and he now has an order for multiple pallets. So for whatever that's worth. Now, these cigarettes, I'm not a smoker, but from what I understand, cigarettes, a pack of cigarettes cost $7 or $8. The price point on these is going to be $3.99 a pack, so it's basically half price. But their original promotion, which they have on the pack, so nobody can even change the pack, it says buy one get one free. So you're netting right now. It's about $1.99 a pack.
Yeah.
So.
All right.
I think it's beneficial for smokers for whatever you think it's worth.
Awesome.
I wanted to bring it to the community. I think it's really a great product and will help people. It'll make people healthy.
Boom. I love it. Air horns for Tony. Round of applause for Tony being the second one out of ZingerNation to come on the show. Give us a stock pitch. Guys, tomorrow is the last show of the year. The last time we're going to be together talking trade ideas for the entire year. I want to get 5 emails from people who want to come on the show and do a quick pitch. I threw the challenge out yesterday.
I have other picks.
All right, well, maybe we'll have to have you back on tomorrow, guys. If you want to see Tony back on the show tomorrow, throw the one in the chat. Send the email. We're going to put the email address in the YouTube chat again. It's aaronbry@benzinga.com. He is going to be hooking you up and getting you scheduled to come on here. There we go. There's the ones for Tony. All right. Yeah, let's get 5
Luke,
of you guys on here.
I want to thank you, Luke, and I want to thank Aaron for inviting me on here, and I really enjoyed it. I watch your show every day.
Awesome, man. I appreciate it. That's what ZingerNation is all about, baby.
Tomorrow's my birthday, so
Woo! All right, Tony's coming back tomorrow. Tony got a lot of ones, so Tony, we'll send you an email once we get off and try to figure out a time for you to come back on tomorrow. Let's get another one of these pitches. And again,
sounds good.
Invitation
Thanks, Luke.
is open
Appreciate
to everyone.
it.
All right, thanks, Tony. Tony
Take
from
care.
Toledo, guys. All right, I said we have a jam-packed show. We're gonna keep it running. Next on deck, we're going to be talking options. I know everybody here likes options. Whenever we do anything options, it's very popular. Guys, if you, but before we bring our options guest on, can I please just get some likes on the stream? We have 600 people on here, 47 likes. Jesus Christ. I mean, I'm sweating out of the pits right now trying to get this energy going. So throw me the like there on the stream. And producer Aaron, can we please bring on to the show for the first time options, Mike? Let's go. Oh,
hey, Luke.
It almost worked. There we go. All right, can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Absolutely. And I talked to Jason Raznick, our CEO here at Benzinga, who's normally on this show, but out at the dentist mysteriously for the past couple of weeks. But I talked to him before we went on. He said you are the options guy in his mind. He said there is nobody who knows options, can teach options, can trade options like you. So honored to have you on with us today.
Thanks for having me. Love to be here. And I hope Jason's teeth are doing great.
Yeah, I know. I mean, after a couple of weeks of mysterious disappearance, they better be in a pretty good position. There was some speculation maybe he's getting dentures, maybe he's getting, grills, like he'll have some gold teeth when he comes back. We'll have to wait and see.
So what do you want to talk about today?
I'd love to start just by hearing about your style a little bit, right? There's so many ways to use options, from the basic to the complex. I'd love if you could just get us started with how you use options, where you've had the most success, etc.
So, my style has changed over the years. I started off where I would just purely change options, and I used to look at the unusual activity and go, oh my God, look at that big buying 3 months out, and just go after that. And there was a long time in this market when that flow and that type of activity was the best action in the world, right? Huge winners, big percentage winners, and everybody loves those big percentage winners. But as this market's adapted, and we've been in this bull market now run for what? Coming up on 10 years. What I use options for mostly now is to show me what names are on play on a daily basis and to help me find names that I may not be paying attention to otherwise. So for example, this morning, 2 names they came after quickly, or 3, Taiwan Semi, Disney, and Baidu. And, quickly got me focused on all those names and focused everybody who follows me on those names in you know, in the chat room and on my Twitter feed. And, you know, I use it now to find that. And sometimes I trade options, but a lot of times I'll just grab stock because you know, I'm busy going through the flow. I just had to make a split decision. So I just jumped on Baidu this morning without even thinking about it, based on them buying tons and tons of weekly 205s calls, 15,000 in the first 10 minutes.
Okay. And when you're looking at that flow, can you tell us a little bit as to what exactly it is you're looking at and then what you're looking for?
Sure. What I'm looking at is to see them continuing to come after it, right? So sometimes they'll come in and it'll be a large block. And those to me are usually the least attractive. When I see, like in pins, we had a big order today in the February 70 calls, a massive order, but it was one big lump sum. When I see them continually hitting over and over again, you know, small sweeps, a couple hundred at a time, up to 1,000, that shows me that they're in that name, they're playing it, and they're just rolling up. And then you look for them to start rolling higher. So as the stock moves up, if they're playing at 205 in Baidu, maybe they start buying the weekly 210s, right? And they're just continuing with this momentum, and it starts creating a feeding frenzy because, of course, the more option buying there is, the more the market maker has to hedge. The way they hedge is they buy the stock. And then the more they're doing it, the more the stock's going up, the more it brings more eyes onto it, and you get a pile-in effect. And, you know, that's when for day trading, when I'm day trading options, that's exactly what I'm looking for. It's even better when they're on our list in the morning, right? In the pre-market, I go over names I like on the day and the reasons why I like them. And when they're on that list and the name has volume, you know, it's just a home run. If you have unusual volume in the stock itself and unusual option activity in it, and the technical setup's good, that's usually a home run.
Okay. And so basically you're looking at the options order flow and you're looking for a symbol that just keeps getting hit nonstop.
Yep.
And when you see that's an indication to go long. Is that like an accurate quick summary?
First thing I do is I'll take a look at it, right? Make sure the stock's reacting right to the flow, right? Because sometimes they could be selling these calls to open, or it might be not or closing. You know, the stock should be going up if there's a lot of call buying coming into it. And once I see that and I look at it, and if I like to look at it and I see volume in the name on a 5-minute or a 1-minute chart, that's when I jump on it. If it's not reacting right and it's not doing anything, I put it onto a note and I start keeping an eye on it, because sometimes you get a delayed reaction. And, you know, with the market selling off on the Qs this morning on the opening 20 or 30 minutes, sometimes that affects the overall what they're trying to do, right? So that's what made names today special. Baidu and Disney, they didn't care what the market was doing on the open today. Those names screamed right out of the gate, and they just said, okay, market's coming down, but we're going up. That's the type of names you want to find in a market like this, especially in days like today.
Okay. And for that options flow, where are you looking at it?
For me, I'm looking through Software Trade Alert. Great product of theirs. I use that, and I fine-tuned it over the years to how I like to look at it. And so I know what to look for. I know when it comes in. I know exactly what type of reaction I'm looking for.
Okay. And producer Aaron, can I get my screen on the stream really quickly? Guys, if any of you are Benzinga Pro users out there, we do have sweeps on Benzinga Pro as well. Here's a live feed that I have up and what it looks like. If you guys are not yet Benzinga Pro users, it's pro.benzinga.com. There is a free 2-week trial. If you email them and say, hey, Luke wants me to have it for a month, do that. They'll give it to you for a month. But all right, producer Aaron, put Mike back on. I had an opportunity to plug. I had to plug, okay? Otherwise, they're going to cut me off. If I don't add value of this show, they're going to cut me off at some point. So, okay, so let me dig in a little bit more on the options flow strategy. Like this morning, you mentioned you were buying stock outright. You're buying equity rather than contracts. Do you ever, when you start to see flow, take an option position in the name? And if so, how do you decide what position to take?
You know, it depends how I'm feeling. And yes, I do take options positions. My regret today is after I traded Baidu and made great money on the open with it, I didn't buy back options on it and let them try to run on it. The beauty of options is that you can, you know, they're inexpensive, they don't move as fast, and you can let them grind it out. What I usually look is to see where the volume is, first thing, right? I need to have liquidity. So I need to have good open interest. I need to have good volume on the name. And then I look to see what the delta is. And, you know, the final thing is, how much can the name move? Because if you're trading a name like GE, which only moves 30 cents a day, you can't expect to make money on the day if you're a buck out of the money on it, right? Chances are that option's not going to move. If you're trading a name like Baidu that's moving 10 plus bucks a day, you can be 10 bucks out of the money and make nice money on an option. So it really comes down to what kind of move can I get out of the name. Names like Amazon, you can be 100 bucks out of the money. Tesla, 100. Have you seen during this run up in the last month, we've had people in the room trading $150 out of the money on Tesla on calls and making day trades and making great money on it. So it's just about knowing how far the name can move and looking for a place where there's liquidity. And the one thing I always tell people is the most important thing is you need to have good open interest in volume. If you can see your trade hitting the wire, guess what? Market makers own you. You never want to be able to see the count go up by the number of contracts you're buying. Bottom line.
Okay, so that's great. So again, I'm gonna try to recap it, and Mike, correct me if I'm wrong, but basically what you're looking for in these setups is you're looking for sweeps on a stock. You then like to see that the stock is moving in line with those sweeps, and you're either getting into it on the long side by buying stock or taking an options position. And you decide on the options position by looking for a contract that has a decent amount of volume and open interest, and also that it's realistic that the stock could get there. Is that accurate for a summary? And then
or at least move it. It moves enough for it to pay, right?
Okay.
So even if Amazon can't get up $100 that day, if it moves 50 bucks, those options are probably going to move and pay out nicely. It's about looking at how far it can move and where can I get to. You know, the biggest mistake I see so many people, and I was guilty of it for a while, I used to play Amazon and Google and Tesla right at the money. That's everybody taught me play at the money. Well, you have so much risk on short-term contract that when it goes wrong, you can really take a lot of pain. Now, when it goes right, it's fabulous, right? You make great money. But as traders, what our job always to do is to mitigate risk and maximize your potential for reward. And that's why I like, look how far the name can move and find that right strike. That's just that sweet spot, so that if the name pulls a little bit, you don't feel like you have to get out of it right away.
Awesome. And then two questions out of the chat. Can you please define a sweep for us? And then how far out do you go when you're buying contracts?
Sure. So a sweep is a player who comes in and they want to get filled as fast as possible. So they do basically a market order, ask or above ask across multiple exchanges to get their order filled as quick as possible. If they do a block, right, that means their negotiated rate. They reach out to the exchanges and says, hey, give me a negotiated rate for 1,000 contracts on the Apple weekly 140 calls. So they're not in a rush to get it. So sweeps are much more aggressive oriented. The question of time is great, by the way. I always love that one. I would always advise people learning options to have 30 to 45 days of time. This way, if something goes wrong, you have time for it to work. I do tend to trade a lot of weekly options. They're great, but the one thing about weekly options is I always tell everybody this is when things go wrong, you have no time for it to recover, and they're decaying so rapidly, it's all working against you. So you have to be on your game on weekly options, cut your losers quick, and constantly be taking profits and getting back in and out. Little bit of advice for anybody trading today and tomorrow. You don't want to be trading tomorrow's options. If you want to trade for any kind of weekend move, you want to be going out right now into next week's options at the very least.
Awesome. And then I know I said last question, but really the last question, options like if people want to stay in touch with you, they want to learn more, they want to follow you, can you please tell us how to do that?
Sure. First thing, you can follow me on Twitter at OptionsMike. I'm very active on my public Twitter feed. And then they can reach out to me on my website, smartoptiontrading.com. Come on in there. I have a live trading room. I have a special right now. I have my 2021 Outlook and names that outperformance is now posted up there. So there's a lot of information they can get there if they're interested in seeing that or joining me in the trading room.
There it is. All right, guys, let's get a round of applause going for Options Mike. Mike, thank you very much for hopping on the stream with us. We love options here. We love people who are a lot smarter than we are about options, so we appreciate you taking the time to come on today.
Thanks for having me.
All right, guys. So there you have it. We are clipping today. We did a portfolio update. We did a crypto battle. I was hoping that it was going to be a crypto battle, but it wasn't. My crypto bear was at 35,000. So we did that. We talked options, and I believe that we have another guest coming on for us. Do we have another guest, producer Aaron? Not yet. All right. All right, couple minutes. We're going to be bringing another guest on here with us. That gives us time for a couple things. First one, producer Aaron, would you mind updating column E on the chat challenge sheet so that way we can run through the winners and the losers of the chat challenge? And a quick update there. I thought tomorrow was a half day. It's not. Tomorrow is a full day of trading. So we are going to be running the chat challenge through tomorrow. It's not a 3-day challenge. It's a 4-day challenge. Let's go. All right. The question of the week was, what is going to be the best performing Momo stock of the week? And so hopefully producer Aaron can get that updated for us, and we'll be able to hop into a chat challenge. The next thing that I want to do, I teased this one a little bit yesterday. We've talked about the stock a lot. We've gotten a lot of questions on the stock, asking for thoughts on Baba. Yes, that's right. It's Alibaba, the company that pissed off China. A bad place to be, I would imagine. I've never pissed off China. But let's talk about Alibaba a little bit. Can I get my screen up, producer Aaron? All right, so right now we're looking at a 1-year chart of Alibaba. We've seen the thing get cracked. There's a couple bad catalysts going on for the stock right now. One is they had the Ant Financial IPO that got pulled. It got blocked by the Chinese government. 2, there was an investigation by the Chinese government into Alibaba. So we saw the stock get smacked. It has rebounded a little bit off of lows. And let me give you guys my take on it. So ex-Chinese government problems, I really like Alibaba. I think it's a great name to own. It's something that I've owned in the past. But whenever you piss off the Chinese government, I think that it's scary. And the gains that are given up, so again, this is a 1-year chart. Check this out. The stock has fallen from the sky, and it's only given up 6 months of gains, right? Which is something that I think is a little bit scary. Could there be more downside there? I think potentially. So I want to go synthetically long Baba. I want to make the trade that I always make, and I actually want to sell puts against the stock. Yes, it does require a decent amount of collateral, but let's go ahead and let's pull up the option chain here on Alibaba. All right, option chain, here we go. And I'm going to look a couple months out on this thing. So let's go to the Februaries. That gives us 51 days out. Stock is trading at right around 235 right now. I want to sell some pretty cheap options or some options that are pretty far out of the way. So I'm going to pick the 180s, the $180 strike puts is what I'm going to go ahead and sell. I'm going to go ahead and start the position off here with 5 contracts. So if Alibaba does not breach that 180 level over the course, or I guess between now and the next 51 days, that's fine. We walk away with the premium. If it does, we're essentially buying the stock at $178 per share, which is about 50% down from the all-time high in the stock, and in a decent ways below what it is trading at now. So I am going to go ahead, send this trade in. The trade is on. We are filled. There you are. You have it here. And we'll just keep you guys updated on this one every day, just like we look at the live portfolio every day. But all right, producer Aaron, I'm getting word that our next guest is ready to come on. Is that right? Oh, I got a thumbs up. I got a big thumbs up. All right, let's bring our guest onto the stream. There it is. Airplane Jane, welcome to Power Hour. This is ZingerNation. We are glad to have you here.
Thank you, Luke. Very excited. Yeah, I was just breaking down Baba on my live stream as well.
Let's hear it. Let's hear it.
To be looking at it. Let me pull up my chart over here as well. So I actually, an EMA that you might not have on your chart, but is one that I absolutely love, is the 425 EMA. And so when I'm looking at stocks, I will use that as a bear or bull indicator on multiple time frames, whether it's the daily or I really like it on the 45-minute chart for a shorter time indicator of bear and bull. But it's a perfect entry, in my opinion, for getting back in on those pullbacks. And Baba just bounced up above it. Right now, it's roughly at 225.80 for that 425 EMA. So it's nice, however, it is in that downward trend running against those EMAs up above it. So it's kind of got some speed bumps there. And looking at it, yes, Neil, 425 EMA, that's correct. It's one that I love. In fact, if you guys look back, you look at FedEx, it really acted as a strong resistance for a little while. Boeing ran up right to it, went sideways, had some disbursement there, and then pulled back. So it's a great tool. It doesn't cost a penny. Just try it on your chart. If you like it, leave it, right? So that's one that I was looking at and love it as BABA has bounced above it.
Okay, so basically what you're looking for is you've got your 425 EMA on the chart. When you see BABA's price break above that EMA, that's your bullish symbol on the stock. Is that accurate?
Yes, more so on the shorter time frame as my short-term trades. Longer term, I love it as a potential long entry because 425 is very far away, and as you were saying, it's at a nice discount right now. Another one that I'm looking at for potential going into the new year is Zoom, right? So Zoom is quite far away still. It doesn't have that 425. It's just set up at 189, but we are hitting an upward trend line on Zoom right now with risk roughly at 340, and that's a nice discount. You know, we're looking at that is now discounted down $190 off of the top. Lower risk entry, it's at 353, and potential if it doesn't hold 340, out of there.
Okay, so you like BABA, you like Zoom, at least for these shorter time horizons. How are you getting into these stocks? Are you just buying the shares outright? Are you putting options out on the trades? Tell us a little bit about that.
It's for my longer term trades, Luke, I am looking at holding the stock. With the decay of options, obviously you're going to have to give it a lot of time to move out to that price level. And if it is a directional trade shorter term, I will be trading those options. Another great couple of stocks that I'm looking at and going into the new year in relation to the dollar that I do have up above me that dropped with the euro gaining today are commodities as far as gold and silver. In particular, I am looking at EGO, Eldorado Gold, and USAS, US American
Eldorado
Gold.
Hold on, you're too fast for me. I'm slow. Okay, all right. Eldorado Gold. The ticker is EGO. That's Echo Golf Oscar. Okay, and what was the second one?
USAS, Uniform Sierra Alpha Sierra.
There we go. All right, so tell us about these a little bit. Is it you like them technically, I imagine, and if so, you know, what is it that you like about them technically?
All right, so let me pull up EGO and show you. Actually, I love gold and silver. Looking at the gold futures and also the silver futures on a monthly time frame, they have massive cup and handle setups, and they are breaking that handle. They're moving to the upside. As the dollar is dropping, gold and silver are rising. It seems as if that could be the big money flow into gold and silver as a risk on trade. So it looks as if the money is flowing there when we look back at 2008 to 2011 to see what happened with gold and silver as a protective play. Gold and silver both went up about 300%. So there's a potential for that to happen again. We've seen that gold dropped. We saw that silver dropped. And now it's slowly on that upward move. Earlier in the year, some amazing trades as well, following dark pool money, following to see where those big guys were getting in. Then once they were done, boom, it shot up. And it went up for silver, it gained roughly 50%. It was July 19th, they were finally done, and it shot up. So EGO is a gold company, gold-based company that is in Canada. And right now it's also testing a downward trend line or downward wedge. And roughly 65% of the time, those break out to the upside. But we want to have that volume for confirmation. We've had the stimulus. That was part of it. With printing money, we see that the dollar will devalue. And we also see that against the euro, that's also devaluing the dollar right now with the DXY index. So putting all of that together, looking back at history, watching some dark pool activity. We see the gold and silver are primed for another leg to the upside. And with the Fed continuing to buy $50 billion worth of securities, that's almost synthetically printing out money as well, which devalues the dollar, inflates the cost of things, including stocks, and also the price of commodities.
Awesome. Okay, so let me make sure I understand this correctly. I'm gonna try to recap it, but you like the sort of the story behind gold and silver because we have the inflation problem, and the inflation problem will hopefully put upward price movement on the commodity. And then you like to get a little bit more tactical than just buying the futures contracts or the ETF outright. And EGO and USAS are two stocks that are at bullish technical levels. So that's how you're liking to get into the space.
Correct, as well as GLD for gold, SLV for silver, and USAS has holdings in both gold and silver. And looking at it technically right now, if we break that 330 area, we could be seeing that this has a $4 move roughly to the upside, which would be amazing. And so you're going to take more than double your money on that one, in my opinion.
Okay, that's great. And yeah, the GLD, that's definitely one that I hold. As you guys know, I am a big proponent of the ETFs. I don't trade on everything that I own. About 75% I keep my ETFs. I like to build a nice balanced portfolio that I will over and underweight at certain times, and then use that remaining 25% for stocks. But Airplane Jane, I've got to ask this one. Where does the name come from?
Airplane Jane, I
Yes.
am a licensed pilot, and I've worked in aviation. Until 2014, I'd worked in aviation for roughly 20 years.
Wow. Okay, that's amazing. How long ago did you get your pilot's license? It's something that I've always
1996.
wanted to do. That's amazing. That's great. And do you have a favorite like flight route? I don't know how any of this works. I don't even know if that question makes sense.
Well, right now, having 2 kids, I leave that up to the commercial pilots. And I'd say probably my favorite flight route would be down to the islands.
Okay, there you go. That's awesome. Yeah, we at Benzinga we're based in Michigan here, and Michigan is so beautiful of a state. I mean, we have lakes, we have rivers, we have such amazing trees. I've always dreamed to just be able to fly and look out at everything. That's awesome.
Yeah. Mentioning ETFs too, you have to check out 2. I actually tweeted about them today.
All right.
iDrive, so Indigo or India, Delta, Romeo, Victor, and also Delta, Romeo, India, Victor. So iDrive and Drive, there you go, and DRIV. So those 2 are electric car ETFs. They are fairly low float. They have Tesla, they have Apple, they have, what else? Toyota, they've got Microsoft. They've got a lot of the big players into the components of the electric car sector and have been really performing very nicely this year. And with Biden going towards green energy, 2 that I personally have been holding for quite a while and look forward to the growth in the next year.
Awesome. Okay. I like that. And I've got to ask, since you brought up the EVs, it's the hottest space around. Do you own any of the individual names or trade around any of the individual names? I'm getting smoked on NIO right now. I love to hate that stock. I'm doing okay on a Nikola. I'm betting against both of them. But any EV trades for you?
Yes, definitely. I have some Tesla, I have some Plug, I have some Blink, as well as the ETFs. But watching NIO, XPEV, and Lee go parabolic and looking at the technical aspects of it, they look like they're in corrective waves right now and not interested in paying a premium for them, looking for them to come back down to reality and then jump back in and ride it on the way up again.
All right. I like it, guys. There we go. I mean, that was a lot of tickers. So we talked BABA, we talked gold and silver, we talked EVs. Airplane Jane, amazing to have you on with us today.
Thank you so much, Luke. It was a pleasure.
Absolutely. All right, everybody, you're sitting at home, you're by yourselves. You know, it's weird to clap by yourself, but let's do it. Let's get a round of applause going for Airplane Jane. We're sitting here by ourselves in this quarantine time. But all right, guys, our time together is coming to an end, unfortunately. I know we were having so much fun today. We were jam-packed. But we do have one last thing to do. This is my favorite part of the show. You guys know what it is. That's right. Oh, there's some clapping emojis. All right, it is time for our chat challenge. This is ZingerNation going head-to-head every single week. We're asking one question. We're trying to figure out who has the trading chops. This week on Monday, we saw all the Momo stocks, not all of them, but most of them, getting cracked pretty good. That was our Fubos, our Nikolas, etc. The question that we asked was, on today's down day, this bloody day, what is going to be the best Momo stock of the week, the best performing of the week? We're running Monday through Thursday this week. That's right. The market is closed on Friday. Let's go. And so, without further ado, I have the screen up. Can we get my screen onto the stream? Producer Aaron. This one is going to be tight. So I believe that Damon in the chat is winning right now. Let me just do a quick scroll. All right. So Damon in the chat is the leader of the chat challenge. That's right. We have 24 hours left to go. He picked NNDM as the best performing stock of the week. Now up 13.3%. Round of applause, Damon. But do not enjoy that lead. I'm right on your tail in second place with my pick of Laser, L-A-Z-R. That's right, everybody's favorite new SPAC that recently had a merger. And then coming in third position, it looks like we've got Ellie with Riot. Who else is in the running? Damon with SE could be in there as well. But we're neck and neck. That's right. Me versus Damon. We got 24 hours. We'll see how tomorrow shakes up. You know, one of these things could get blown up or run to the moon. You never know with these types of stocks. But there is the update on our chat challenge, and I said this yesterday. I'm going to go ahead and zoom out here, guys. We're not doing great this week. We usually do pretty well. When we ask this question, we usually get a lot of green and a lot of pretty strong green. We have a lot of red this week. And a lot of the green that we do have is some weak green, especially on these volatile trades. You know, but it does look better than yesterday. Yesterday I said we're canceling the ZingerNation portfolio. We're going to launch a portfolio based on picks out of the community, or live real money portfolio. You know, yesterday I said, okay, after these picks, it's off the table. It's not happening. We are looking better, so maybe it's back on the table. But without further ado, guys, I will see you tomorrow. It is our last show of the year. Again, email AaronBry@benzinga.com. We're putting that email address in the chat. I want to get 5 people on. 3-minute stock pitches. Tony from Toledo made one today. Rodrigo made one yesterday. We want to get the ideas flowing. We want to bring ZingerNation into this thing. I'd love to just line up, boom, and hammer through stock picks so I don't have to come up with them all. But without further ado, guys, peace out. Happy trading. I will see you tomorrow.